Warm Ayurveda greetings to everybody watching me live. Dr. Ashish Paul here from Ashish Veda Fertility. Please let me know if you can hear me so that, I know I'm able to convey my message or that the sound quality is good. So just let me know. Um, yeah, so as many of you know, my name is Dr. Ashish, and I support couples going through fertility issues, supporting them through their fertility journey, which can be long, which can be heartbreaking for many, many people. And by many, many, I mean millions of people and couples. And I just also want to report on our mentoring course, which has started, and it is going very well. We still have another week or so if anybody who's looking to join mentoring course, who's looking for some support, thinking of conceiving soon enough or in next 6 months or in a year's time and looking to start some natural things, natural solutions for their health, they can also still join if they wish. And they can still catch up with the rest of the course. So I'm very pleased for those who are on the course and are going to start their journey and have started a little bit thinking about how this will help them and how and what they're going to do with it. And also having discussions, wonderful discussions, obviously online, a lot of them online, where people are in all parts of the world, not just only in the UK, but in India, in Canada, in other parts of the world where they're reaching out. And I'm able to suggest, able to enhance some experience that they're having or to suggest some alternatives for them. Um, so, natural medicine is not complementary all alternative, as it is called. It is crucial and it should be there as the first line of defense. However, it is classified under CAM, which is complementary alternative medicine. So, giving solutions to people who are on fertility journey, who are looking to get pregnant, and they have been trying for a while, not working out for them. And one of the things that I want to highlight today is that as the topic says, who pays the price of fertility medicines and drugs and injections and pills and hormones? Who is eventually paying the price of all of that? Yeah, it's not the cost. It's not the monetary value. It's not how many pounds or rupees or dollars somebody is paying. It's what is happening eventually and who is taking the toll by using all of those drugs and injections and medicines that they're using to get pregnant. Yeah. So let's just briefly look at that, the cycle of fertility medicines as it is in allopathic medicines. And by doing that, I am highlighting the importance of natural medicine, the importance of natural therapies, where and how they can help, they can support. And you cannot go wrong by using natural medicine along even with your allopathic medications if you so wish. So, just a few things to highlight here. So, when we talk about fertility medicines, yeah, um, we know that 50% of infertility is due to men's issues. Yeah, which means that sperm issues or sperm count or sperm motility is low, and that is causing the infertility amongst a couple. And rest of the fertility issues are due to the women's issues, women's gynecological issues. So, what happens in terms of taking the medical drugs? So, if it is a woman's issue uh, where they have been using, where they have been suffering from, say, for example, PCOS or anything like endometriosis or hormonal issues they might have, uh, they will have to use medical drugs to balance hormones for PCOS, the number of drugs that they have to use for the to get right for their fertility. For endometriosis, there is ectopic pregnancy for which women have to use, and even surgical um, procedures that they have to undergo. So women will be taking medications for all of those conditions, which is in order for them to get pregnant. Yeah. So 50% of overall infertility. So that toll is on them. Yeah. So that's fine if it's a gynecological issue, if it is an issue with my periods and I need to use drugs, I need to use drugs to correct that in order to get pregnant as a couple. That's fine. But what happens when it is the other 50%, where there are issues with the sperms, there are issues with the sperm quality, sperm motility, sperms are not floating very well. Who is taking the medications eventually to get pregnant? Yeah. Uh, do we think about this? Yeah. So, because I work with a lot of um, couples who are going through IVF journeys, so I can definitely talk a lot about IVF, what is happening there. But let's look at if there is men's issue where the motility is lower or the sperm quality is lower. So some medication might be given to the man to enhance the motility. Most of the times, there is not that many drugs, even medical modern drugs, are available to enhance sperm quality or sperm motility. So they are given some drugs, and after a while, or say 6 months or 1 year, if the pregnancy hasn't happened, uh, then the next step would be either to use donor sperms, that is a possibility, which will work for IUI, which is intrauterine insemination. Or if that's not the case, if it is IVF, then who will end up using the IVF drugs in order to get pregnant? Even though it started as the issue with the man in this case, the IVF drugs, the whole journey, the whole thing, it will be, in that couple's case, will be the woman who will be using all the drugs. Yeah. And it may not be just once, because um, one IVF cycle on its own does not work. And it is generally multiple cycles that couples are using. So we are talking about um, probably hundreds of pills and capsules and injections and hormonal injections and drugs and vitamins, multivitamins, and all other medical, uh, medical drugs that one end up using either for IVF or for any other fertility path that you have taken, even when the fertility issue was with the man. And all these drugs, and I keep repeating this obviously, is that most of the drugs which are to do with fertility or gynecological drugs, they are hormonal by nature, which means they are eventually steroids. So they will have an impact overall on the women's health in longer term. You're talking about longer term. Once hopefully you conceive with all the drugs, and then you have your children, and then what happens later? Yeah. So if it is your issue, if you have health conditions, yes, you are taking drugs for those health conditions, fine. But you are taking drugs also if in case it is not working out as a couple and the issue lies with the man. Even then you end up taking all the drugs. So more or less, um, I think almost all of IVF drugs are used by women. There are hardly any drug which is used by a man. And I'm not sure about you, but that is really scary. If we look at the long term impact of medications, if we look at some of the studies that are there, what happens in 5 years' time, 10 years' time down the line, or 15 years, 20 years' time down the line, for your health, for your hormones, for what happens around menopause, what happens after menopause, and the health overall, your joints, your gynecological health. You women need their gynecological health before and after having kids too. They need their uterus and ovaries even afterwards. So it's not the only function of those organs. It's not just to produce the babies. That function is there, but it is also to maintain the health and to maintain the hormonal level in their bodies, which maintain the health of the bones, it maintains health of the skin, it maintains brain health. So it's linked with all of that as well. And that health will be affected if you are only using drugs and not doing something holistic to look after your health and well-being overall. Yeah. So yeah, that's um, one of the things I really want to highlight, and for you to think about, if you are on that path, if you know somebody who's on that path and you are able to speak to them, because this is not a topic you can't just have a coffee table conversation about it. Fertility is very sensitive topic. So it is only if you know someone really well and are able to suggest something that you suggest about natural medicine, because natural medicine, you may not be aware of number of things that natural medicine, therapies and natural medicine can offer, but those can be offered at any stage of your fertility journey. Whether you have just started looking into getting pregnant, you're totally healthy, there are no fertility issues as such, you are just beginning to think about becoming parents and starting a family, you can use then natural medicine. You can, and once you start to then go through a number of tests, you're finding out if there is anything going on. If you have been in a situation where your periods haven't been working very well, you can use natural medicine. Natural medicine would fit in everywhere in along your journey of fertility, of uh, having a family for yourself. On that journey, you can fit in natural medicine, natural therapies, herbs, um, yoga or pranayam, all of them, anywhere, wherever you wish to take it. And you can also use it along with your medications. Yeah. As long as you are supervised and you are under care of a practitioner, you are under care of your medical doctor for your fertility issues, and you're under care of somebody like myself who's trained in natural medicine, and both of them can work on you, so that all these drugs, all these injections, all these pills that you're taking, all these hormones that you're injecting into yourself, you do not end up having as many side effects. Say, for example, you were taking all those drugs and you were going to have, you didn't take any natural medicine or any natural therapy, or you didn't balance your health with anything natural, or even diet and lifestyle, yeah, and you were going to have 100% uh, or say 10% of reaction or some kind of reaction from or impact of medicine in the longer term. With natural medicine, you can probably reduce that down to 1%, 2%, in some cases, none in the longer run. Yeah. And and my suggestion would be, if anybody who is on this journey now, and yes, you have to use modern drugs, you want to use modern drugs, that is all well and good. You use them, but use natural medicine to balance your health afterwards. Use natural medicine and therapies to balance your health in between. If you're going through a long IVF journey, you're going through surrogacy, you're going through donor eggs, donor sperms. It could be any of those scenarios, and you're waiting in between. Yeah, you can still use natural medicines, natural therapies at that point. Yeah, so there is just every single time, wherever you are enhancing your fertility, you can use natural medicine so that you have lesser impact. And as a woman, I really urge you to think about this, because it is your health which is going to get impacted eventually. And I can also tell you that, yes, in the it's all fine that you want to use all those medicines, drugs, whatever that is, supplements, everything. Yes, of course, use them to have your kids. But you are going to need much more energy afterwards, once you do have your kids, to run around them, to look after them, to be with them, for the rest of um, their lives, your lives, for as long as you can be with them and be a healthy person and a healthy parent with them. So, women, uh, yeah, women should look more into natural medicine, you know, to support them while they are going through this, all these fertility drugs and everything else, and use them together. I'm all in favor of what we call integrated medicine, where you use modern drug, you use natural therapy or natural something green. It's also called green medicine. Something to support you so that you still feel balanced, you still feel healthier overall, and you don't get as much long-term impacts of um, drugs. Yeah. So that's it. I hope this triggers something. You think of natural medicine for yourself, for fertility, or for someone else as well. So get in touch if you are in any other part of the world than London and you cannot see me one on one. You can do online work, one on one, online work in group, go through mentoring course. Do not just sit there and get, uh, you know, fertility journey is fertility journey. It is what it is. You have embarked on it. That's totally fine. It's your decision. You're taking everything on board, but you do not necessarily have to suffer unnecessarily. So think of natural medicine to support yourself wherever you are. Reach out for any other suggestion. Even if we are not working together, I'm always happy to speak to women or couples. If they want some kind of suggestion, I'm always happy to talk. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for commenting. I see you soon.